In a desperate race for survival, Riddick and bounty hunter Kel Dravik, unlikely allies on opposite sides of the law, must navigate a collapsing alien world, uncover ancient secrets, and battle a ruthless galactic force. Will they overcome their differences to stop an impending apocalypse or perish in the chaos? On a desolate crimson planet where storms painted the sky with flashes of electric fire, Riddick prowled the jagged terrain. His silver eyes gleamed like a predator's, scanning the horizon for threats. The Furian outlaw was a master of survival, always one step ahead of death, but this time he felt a presence, calculated, deliberate, and dangerous. He wasn't alone. The one pursuing him was Kel Dravik, a bounty hunter renowned for his precision and unyielding determination. His gaze followed the glow of the cufflight to the larger object below him. Kel had tracked Riddick across countless star systems, his pursuit fueled not just by the promise of a massive reward, but by the challenge of bringing down the galaxy's most infamous fugitive. Riddick's instincts led him to an outcrop of jagged rocks, a perfect place to confront his hunter. Kel stepped into the open, his energy rifle steady and aimed directly at Riddick. Their first words were laced with tension, Riddick's sarcastic taunts clashing with Kel's cold professionalism. The air between them crackled, each waiting for the other to make the first move. But before either could act, a deafening roar tore through the canyon. From the sky, a Dominion warship spiraled out of control, crashing violently into the planet's surface. The explosion rocked the ground, sending debris and smoke into the air. From the wreckage emerged swarms of Dominion soldiers, their glowing red visors slicing through the haze. Both Riddick and Kel realized they had no choice but to work together. Their uneasy alliance formed as necessity outweighed animosity. And once the situation changed, as the soldiers advanced, Riddick's primal combat instincts and Kel's strategic precision became an unlikely but formidable combination. They moved through the hostile terrain, fending off the Dominion forces in intense, brutal skirmishes. Each fight revealed more about them. Riddick's unrelenting ferocity was matched by Kel's tactical brilliance. Though they fought as a team, the tension between them never fully dissipated, each man keeping one eye on the other. Their escape led them to a hidden entrance in the rocky terrain. Inside, they discovered an ancient Furian temple buried beneath the surface. The walls pulsed faintly with blue light, covered in runes and murals that told stories of a long-forgotten past. For Kel, the place was a mystery, but to Riddick it felt hauntingly familiar. At the heart of the temple, they found a glowing orb resting on an ornate pedestal. In the air around it seemed alive, vibrating with a power that resonated deep within Riddick. When Riddick touched the relic, a surge of energy coursed through him, his already heightened abilities sharpened even further, his senses expanding beyond anything he'd ever experienced. The murals told the story of a Furian prophecy, a chosen warrior who would rise to restore balance to the universe. Kel, observing from a distance, couldn't deny the significance of what he was witnessing, but Riddick dismissed the idea, refusing to believe he was part of any grand destiny. Before they could explore further, the temple was breached by General Sci-Fi, the ruthless leader of the Dominion forces. Sci-Fi, a towering figure clad in dark armor, veined with glowing red energy, exuded an air of authority and menace. He revealed his purpose. The relic was a key to activating an ancient weapon capable of controlling entire galaxies. Sci-Fi sought to bend the universe to his will, and Riddick, as the living link to the relic's power, was both a threat and a tool he intended to exploit. The temple became a battlefield as Sci-Fi's forces poured in, engaging Riddick and Kel in a desperate fight for survival. Riddick's newfound abilities made him a one-man army, his movements a blur of lethal precision. Kel fought with calculated ferocity, his advanced weaponry cutting through waves of Dominion soldiers. Their synergy grew stronger, their mutual respect deepening as they realized the stakes went far beyond their personal agendas. Sci-Fi himself entered the fight wielding a fragment of the relic's energy to devastating effect. His power was immense, his strikes shattering stone and forcing Riddick and Kel to the brink. But Riddick, tapping into the full potential of the relic, unleashed a massive energy wave that destabilized Sci-Fi's control and forced the Dominion to retreat. The victory, however, came at a cost. The relic's power caused the temple to collapse, and the two barely escaped as the structure crumbled around them. Outside, under the eerie glow of twin suns, Riddick and Kel faced each other one last time. Kel, shaken by the Dominion's ruthlessness of Sci-Fi's ambitions, admitted he could no longer follow orders blindly. Riddick, burdened by the relic's power and the prophecy he refused to embrace, chose to continue his solitary path. Their parting was laced with a mutual understanding. Kel vowed to fight for something greater than himself, while Riddick carried the weight of a destiny he hadn't asked for. As Riddick disappeared into the horizon, the galaxy teetered on the edge of chaos, its fate tied to the choices of these two unlikely allies. Their journey, marked by tension, trust, and transformation, was far from over. Both men knew that the battles ahead would shape not only their fates but the destiny of the universe itself.